Good afternoon, Terraria players, and welcome to the Elements Awoken mod for Terraria. I am Bladeburger, and I'm happy to be here to show this mod off to all you watching. Here's a list of the mods for this video. A few are left off because they're very minor, such as a mod that opens doors for me, or a mod that makes extractinators go wee. Don't forget to do the things that the algorithm likes, and check out my Twitter. I say nonsense all the time on it. If you have any mod suggestions, I'd love to hear them and add them to this playthrough queue. The playthrough after this one is a suggested mod, so I'd like to add your suggestions as well. Now let's get into the first episode of my playthrough of Elements Awoken. I started off as I normally do a playthrough, randomizing my character and making a large expert mode world. Ready to go, I chopped down some trees to show the world that it was mine. I made a few boxes and a new NPC moved in, the storyteller. He just simply said what bosses were next to fight. Understandable. Over the course of the day and night, I killed slimes and got a few more NPCs to spawn. When night came, I made pumpkin armor, cause why not? Need me some defense. When day came, I went down into the mines, nearly dying to the first of a lot of boulder traps in this world. Seriously, there was a lot of these. Now time for a regular episode 1 building montage. Background music by my buddy Snowman. Enjoy! Mining. I dug down pretty far, making a small elevator before using an instavator later. I crafted the first modded item, the grappling hook, a mini grappling hook that sucked! Very short range and slowly pulled you towards the hooked area. Not good. When collecting fallen stars that night, I found a new magic item that I wanted to craft, the lightning tome. Since I wanted to craft that, I decided that this would be a mage playthrough. After collecting a ton of stars, which a lot of them went into mana stars, I made the instavator, using it very near my base and putting a nice house over it. Down I went, only to find a clown at a bottle really quickly. Nice! While down there, I found new enemies, Dracolite enemies. They hurt quite a lot. Nope. Later in the Terraria day, I created a friend, the golden ducky. Yay! I also made the lightning tome. It shot lightning. Duh. Did I like this weapon? Not really. It was very inaccurate. Wasn't fun to have to use my entire mana pool just to hit an enemy once. Obvious exaggeration, but that's how this weapon felt. After almost getting killed by another boulder trap, I found something new. A lab. Neat. It had a locker inside that contained a taser and some loot. The taser required something called energy to use. Side note, I'm past the mech bosses where I've recorded so far in this playthrough, and I still don't understand NGL. I'll learn it later when I go to review this mod. Anyways, after a bit more exploring, I had my first death of the world in a pit of lava. I needed to replace the grappling hook, so this was reason enough to do it. I made a Dracolite pickaxe when I returned from death because I had killed a few Dracolite enemies. It felt worse than a copper pick. Not good. I then discovered a new magic weapon, the strange wand. Created from strange plants, there was one for each color of the strange plant. All of them could be combined to form the strange staff. A goal for later, as I had loot to find. I found some Hermes boots in a desert chest. After almost dying to yet another boulder trap, I found a mystery potion. Neat. Of course I chugged it. Why wouldn't I? It gave me invincibility for 8 seconds. Cool. And gone. Darn. I then went to the jungle for a bit to gather Moonglow for a new weapon, the Moonglow wand. This weapon was finally a magic weapon I liked. It shot slow, but made up for it for being able to pierce and tick multiple times when passing through an enemy. I was down in the mines, dodging boulders 4 and 5, preparing to fight the Eye. I had a summon item already, but just not the armor to be able to tank its damage. After preparing enough, I waited for night, and was surprised with the message that an evil presence is watching you. Oh good, I didn't have to use my summoner. Free fight. I made some potions and met the challenge of the Eye of Cthulhu. This is a vanilla boss, so I'll speed it up a lot here. Enjoy. With the eye down, I was surprised by a pop-up message. New added events to push you to fight bosses. Neat. Making it pop up and scare the crap out of me during a boss fight? Not neat. The eye also dropped a new weapon, the Tears of Sorrow. It turned wood arrows into slowing arrows, really strong against regular mobs, and it had surprisingly high damage for a drop from the first boss. I liked it. It also dropped some lens fragments, which could be turned into an aglet or some wire. I already had an aglet, so I'd probably use it later for the wire. Still don't understand energy. Next, I found a few gems and an extractinator when I forgot to record for about 15 minutes. My bad. Magic storage was fully set up. I also use a nice modded money cheese that I'll share with you all, cause I use it a lot later. So essentially how this works is you buy a ton of silt from the architect from Alchemist FPC. You can occasionally get platinum coins from the silt when you throw it into an extractinator, so it's a nice money farm. A tad inconsistent though, as it takes a lot of silt to break even. Selling the gems and ores from there helps a lot though. It's a neat money making trick. Hope you all use it. Anyways, I was on to the next boss, and the first modded boss, Wasteland. It required me to catch a mutated scorpion in the desert. As I was looking for one, enemies I killed dropped desert essence, which could be used to craft a variety of desert themed stuff. After 20 minutes of looking for this tiny scorpion, I found it finally, and caught it. Boss time. For modded bosses, I had good reception to the text tips that I put above the health bar, so I'll just continue those. I'll speed up at slow parts though. Enjoy the boss fight. Wasteland down. A pretty slow fight. Its treasure bag contained a weapon from its loot pool and its expert mode item. It allowed attacks to inflict poison or venom. Very strong for early game. When I went to craft a new magic item, the Sandstorm Tome, I found that I need a new crafting station already, the Elemental Forge. Crafted with a furnace and a variety of blocks from the world, including crimstone and water buckets, as well as torches and some clouds. Done and done. I then crafted the Sandstorm Tome. It seemed pretty decent. The mana cost for it was really high for early game though. really dragged it down. After making it, I went to the next boss in the order, the Eater of Worlds. How did this fight go? Poorly to start, then very well as it went on. Nearly died as I was escaping the chasm. Rough. On defeat, it dropped the Eater, a new range weapon that fired like a Diet Piranha gun. Seems strong, but not for me as I am a wizard. While wandering around the world like an idiot, a meteorite landed. Very nice. I was gonna search for it, but a goblin army spawned the next morning. Pretty lucky as it was the first morning after the Eater went down. The goblin army wasn't too hard as usual. Now without further ado, it's meteor time. Did I completely forget about the Tinkerer at that point? Absolutely, meteor time. After mining it, I crafted a meteor pendant, a modded item. It lowered, or raised, I guess, the use time for magic weapons by 20%, making them fire quite a lot faster, but without lowering the damage. Seemed incredibly strong for an item you get so early. I also crafted meteor armor to go with my magic weapons. Why no space gun though? It felt like a crutch. Soon after, I found the Goblin Tinkerer in a cave. Rocket boots and workshop have been bought. I then found another lab, this time with a working computer as the instivator broke the last one. It had some lore about the next modded boss. Neat. To craft a strange staff, I went to hell, mining a good amount of hellstone. I made the blue horseshoe balloon, my favorite accessory, then the strange staff. It seemed very strong, firing an exploding bolt that rained down bolts as it traveled. It also had a very low mana cost, so it was just easy to spam. Now, on to Skeletron. My first attempt went very poorly. Just watch this, it's easily my most embarrassing loss to a boss. I decided to go do some upgrades, since I might as well get some upgrades. On the hunt for a nature's gift, I found an anklet of the wind, but of course no nature's gift. Whenever you actually look for something in Terraria, it never appears, but when you don't look for something in Terraria, it appears. I upgraded to Frostbark boots, swapped from the Shield of Cthulhu to the new Shield of the Desert, and went from Frostbark to Desert Trailers, a new modded boots. All upgrades done, I went back to challenge the Guardian of the Dungeon. Here's the fight. Skeletron down. Still a fun fight. I received a message on his defeat about screams in the underworld. I knew that in Furnace, the next boss was challenging me. But that's all for next time. I hope you enjoyed this video, the first of the Elements Awoken series. Don't forget to do the algorithm stuff, and stay tuned for the next video. Again, if you have any mod suggestions, I'd love to know. I'll see you all in the next video. Blade Burger out.